Hi guys, how are you doing? This is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, and today I would like to have a little bit of a conversation about mini decks. These are obviously, as the name suggests, the tiny mini versions of your regular tarot decks. And they can have multiple uses, I suppose. You can, put them in your purse when you go. So if you want to do a quick reading on the go, you can do that. Although I don't know, like on the go readings would be so messy. You but I suppose, or if you want to go somewhere, sit down and quickly pull a few cards, something like that. Yeah, these are great. The one very useful purpose I have for my mini decks is I keep them in the little drawer thingy, which is on my, like my big working desk has a kind of a drawer underneath, where I'm supposed to put the keyboard, I guess, but I put my decks there because that's what we tarot readers do. And yeah, and so this is where these guys stay in my desk, and of course, if I need to do a reading on the go, I take them with me. But yeah, so this one is available on Amazon, and so is this. And I have my kind of thoughts about them all, but for all intents and purposes, they get the job done, right? This is not borderless. Here's my genuine thing. This deck is amazing. The size is beautiful. It's easy. It fits in my hand. Really quick, easy. I wish this was borderless, like like the Radiant Wise Spirit deck. And yeah, that's my wish. That's on my wish list. So yeah, I mean, you can, of course, you can take the borders off and whatnot, but I wish it already came borderless. So yeah, that was that's the thing. But this is a great one to just quickly, have. This Tarot de Marseille deck, I prefer this to another one that's also there on the market, also by the same publisher, Los Carabio. The images in this one are a little bit better, obviously clearer, not too clunky looking. But I do have one complaint, that the typically the cards of, or the images of the Marseille are, maybe the length might be same or whatever, but or a little bit taller maybe, but the width is definitely lesser than your standard decks. But what they've done is they've taken a proportionate of the regular deck and put down the mini version, which is great, I suppose, but it stretches the images out because they had to probably do that to fit it in. And it's painfully obvious in, there you go, the Ace of Pentacles. You see how this looks oblong? It's not supposed to look oblong. It's a pentacle coin. It's supposed to be circular. This is not circular. Yeah, and that's what happens because they have stretched it a little bit. Just maybe make it a little less wide, and you'll have all your dimensions properly. Yeah, so but again, don't over if you don't overthink these things, you'll still have a nice cute mini deck that works. Now, let me put this aside for 1 second. I'm sure I've shown you some time ago these cards. Here you go. This is the Thought Tarot, which was sort of, the borders were cut off and the card edging was done. It's a little bluish. Light can't catch it. I hope you can see the. It's kind of the blue from this, or there's something. Anyway, the point is, this is what Julie did for me. It's beautiful, amazing, and all of that. And yeah, this is the original. Let me put this side by side. This is the original big thought deck that is available in the market. and she cut these borders off because they take up so much space. And yeah, even this, because once you are familiar, you know what cards they are. And then she gave it rounded edges, and she colored the edges as well. And see how it compares in size to the regular size thought deck that is available in the market. Once you take the borders off, it's literally kind of a little bit more bigger, but still same size again. So I've always wondered, what if we took these borders off? What would happen? What indeed? Well, Julie to the rescue, and we did that because in my quest for wanting a mini thought deck as well, ta-da! We now have. Let me just try to fit it in the camera. Now we have this. See, this is the regular thought. She took the borders off, and look at look at this. She gave it a nice reddish color. I don't know what to call it. It's beautiful, whatever this color is. And it kind of matches with this reds here somewhere, I think. And just so creative. I mean, just amazing. Julie is too good. And there we go. So now we have all these four decks for you to sort of, gaze upon and see. This is the big thought, which once the borders come off becomes this size, which is equal to the regular thought more or less. Once these borders come out, look at this beauty. Okay, compared to, all right, let me. So now that we have these three mini decks of mine next to each other, you can see obviously, yes, the thought cards are still bigger than these two. The Rider-Waite mini deck is the miniest. And yeah, it's the Marseilles, I would say, somewhere in the middle. But yeah, that's how they are. And so okay, I love it. I'm totally in love, by the way. This is great. So now I have my three because these I call these three decks the sort of, I don't know, for me they are like the foundational three decks that are there in the tarot thingy, until I discover otherwise, of course. The Rider-Waite is where I started, and the Marseille is where tarot started. I suppose you could say that, like, in that sense, because that's kind of oldest, 1400s or whatever. And then of course the thought. So inspired all by all of that. So now I have my three go-tos, favorites in mini form, that I keep with me in my little deck, in the desk drawer. And so if I ever want to do a reading for myself, and I have one of these three to pick out from. So here's a little question I wanted to ask you guys. What about you? Do you have a thing for or against mini decks? It's completely okay if you are against them. That's completely fine. But what is your take on it, and why? Because we would like to know. And because I have recently come into this, but I'm kind of liking it. So if you don't like it, then why? And and another thing, what about your favorite deck? Does it have a mini version? Would you like for it to have a mini version? Would you like it to be borderless, with borders? Whatever your thoughts, or you just don't want mini versions to exist in the world. Oh, okay. So share your thoughts, please, in the comments, and let me know what you think so that we can have a little conversation going. All right. So I guess I will see you again in my next video. Until then, stay good, be good, and play with your cards. Bye now.